I mean,
That's activities. I think that's wonderful. On the way out, take
Well,
one.
someone gave them to me to give out at like, I think for Earth Day.
Oh, okay.
And they've just been sitting in my office collecting dust, and I was like, I'm just gonna put these out and put a
Yeah,
sign.
no problem.
Plenty of people come in with kids.
Correct, yeah.
We were gonna give them out for free anyway, just get rid of them.
Right, so anyway, back to the thing. Whatever they decide for occupancy, the 3 bedrooms covered with the inspection.
5.
you were
Five.
really kidding that was.
There's 5 covered in there?
No,
No, okay, well, what you're gonna do.
that's why I'm saying trust me,
Right.
there's a lot to this.
Okay.
And I'm working with Tim on it because
Right.
it's,
Fine.
because they,
You have 5 bedrooms, you have minimum egress and ingress capabilities.
well, that's the other,
I'm guessing 1 bedroom's right near another.
see, so I don't get that much into it, honestly.
Right.
What I call a bedroom is if I walk in, there's a bed.
In Massachusetts, 7 by 10, a window and a source of
It
heat,
did.
not a closet anymore, is a
Oh,
bedroom.
really?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
a window and any source of heat.
interesting.
I mean, Obviously, if it's a plug-in thing, you know what you say, get rid of that, it's not a bedroom. If it is, you're gonna rebuild your system. What I'm saying to you is, they don't need another Title V. They need for either you, now that you have 5, that's 550. And then how many people at 15, you're gonna tell them, go get an engineer, design it for this. And if not, they
Well, no,
do not
exactly.
get an occupancy, and obviously they'd be a violation.
Hi, Laura.
So I.
And you know, I'm not gonna say it this way here, but if they decide to operate or even keep the 5 bedrooms,
And she just had her second baby, and that's great.
they're gonna get fined. It's a violation of Title V. It's gonna overflow away somewhere in the back woods. No one's gonna see it. Yes.
I'm already on.
Okay.
I'm on like a hawk for that.
Like you said. On and off, man,
I found great.
they already
Grayson's not a year old.
got their
but
3
people are
strikes,
using it
one.
right away.
They did amazing things down there. It wasn't until the fire. It hit.
Turn around. So first thing he
another
said to
too.
his grandma.
You throw in a hall.
Well, that's another thing
Is
that I
that-
actually
is
need to
that
talk
the one
to. There's another thing I need to talk to Tim about because, so they
They
said,
have to sprinkle if it's
well, so they purposely detached, they demolished a portion of the building
Correct.
to try to keep it under the square footage for the
Oh.
sprinkler code. However,
7,500 square feet.
however,
So we don't.
when I went,
Yeah.
there's almost like an additional, like, what seems like unit like,
The other ones are not babies.
that's blocked off from the house but attached to the house by a wall.
Oh, that's.
So I was telling Tim, I was like,
Oh, you just-
no, like the door
Oh,
that got the landlord treatment that they just painted shut.
oh.
And then on the back side of it, they took a piece of plywood that they painted over and just screwed to it. So that's their wall. And I was kind of telling Tim, I was like, hey, I'm not a building inspector, but I'm pretty sure you need a firewall between, like a house
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
and like a non-house,
Correct.
like,
If it
unit.
was a garage, you absolutely have to have.
It's not a garage,
But what I'm saying
it's
is-
not, it's like a non-residential
Okay,
space.
at least in between that, you put 5/8 fire
I
code.
don't wanna have to ask you again. Thank you, I'll give it back.
So anyway,
There you go. Perfect.
so if you decided you're going to the conference or not?
It's gonna go. I wanna go.
Okay,
I'm just.
so it's Rick,
That's exciting.
me, Debbie,
His mother took him to
Richard.
school. He didn't even.
He's got a friend that's
he didn't
dying.
Say goodbye to his mother. walk
Right, I didn't.
So.
Oh, God.
And I said.
This week. Figured it'd be his last hunt, you know, cause.
Oh, my God.
Let him see that.
Yeah.
It's overwhelmed
This-
with
Yeah.
other responsibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
We're staying down there, no one's gonna commute,
I'm driving.
but only because.
You got the agenda?
No, it's all good. I was like, I was talking to Laura about it and I was like, not to play that card, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Elena is the only person who's still like regularly employed.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, you would have to like get time off from your job to go to this conference,
Right, right,
whereas Rick is retired.
right.
Vinny's retired.
Recording, right?
I'm partially.
You're partially
Their
retired.
thing.
Yeah.
Like my mom watches the kids, so if I'm at work, like,
Right,
then I have to ask her to watch more days, she's
Right.
71.
right. So you'd have to ask her for 3 more days, all day long, by the time you get back from Plymouth, 45 to 1 minutes or an hour, so. The cost is,
Is this,
some of it's got Title V, Dylan, that's the thing too.
That's something that I wanted to talk about regulating.
Can you ask Laura to call them and find out, there's quite a bit of Title V in there, do we get credits?
Yeah, we will.
I think we will, okay, good, good,
wait till we get there.
yeah.
No,
The course, the info is in the packet.
Okay,
I was looking.
oh, yeah,
Now, is this from another community?
So that was just
hey
a,
Rick, how you doing?
that was just an extremely broad
Hanging in there.
regulation.
We've got a
We
lot
actually
of,
got that from when the
Health
cradle
agent
came
updates,
down.
oh, baby.
I just wanted to provide it, cause that was just kind of what they provided us, obviously,
Okay.
it's very often.
Bird?
That was
Human. A woman.
It showed up on mine.
Yeah, okay. I haven't looked at my mail, so maybe,
Um,
cause I'm on moderate and high risk.
not from what I heard of,
West Nile,
honestly, the reason why I
MP,
may have heard about it,
That's
funny
the
enough.
public health. With the
That
network,
Okay.
the Han, that's the top one. Health.
Mr. Martinelli texted me one day and was like, hey, 7:08, look into it. I heard about this like on the
70,
news.
yeah.
And when I looked into it, I was like, oh, this is like blah, 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 like, and I looked, and then I messaged the chief of police and I was like, hey, like, I
I
just.
guess they're all the
Rally-
rallies best.
Yeah, so I was just kind of
You
rallying.
just get the,
Honestly.
whatever, I think. Well, people will go in the backyard, night or dusk,
Well, because to the
sunrise,
point, if you
sunset.
read it, one of the,
they don't realize if it's shady or damp,
Oh, yeah.
mosquitoes are out there.
and the other thing that they had, that they're running into.
And if the wetlands are
When
really.
they show up,
gravid,
like, saying
the
overdose.
wetlands got a lot of composting, you know, leaves fall.
How do you know?
Acorns,
Oh, really?
stuff becomes
Like, if it's
a
7:08,
soupy mix.
how do you know?
People get
I don't think.
more likely to be
I don't think.
gravid,
Narcan someone
And
though.
there's.
gravid pits, more likely to produce
Exactly.
mosquitoes with disease.
Yeah.
Not only West Nile, there's like 3 of them. West Nile's the big one.
So real quick,
What-
before anyone else gets here, I just want you guys to know,
Yeah.
we're supposed to possibly have 2 members of the public come in today.
Perfect.
Neither of them are here yet. One
Okay,
of them,
what?
so one of them is the first is the first item on health agent updates.
Okay,
Um,
3 minutes.
yeah, I'm going.
Okay. Okay.
either way, yeah, Mike said he's coming, I don't know where he's at, and then,
Okay.
I don't know. And then for mosquito spraying, the resident's supposed to come in.
Okay.
That was a woman who called in a few weeks ago.
She does realize if you give her the number for Norfolk County, they'll take care of it.
It wasn't for that, we can get into it, we'll get into it in the
Okay.
meeting. But if they don't show up, I guess I can just kind of like talk about it and we can
Right.
move on.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
I just figured I'd let you guys know. I didn't
Okay.
want it to be a surprise when random people walked in.
Right.
It says Middlesex County, doesn't
Okay.
say the town.
Okay, so
Oh, are you talking about West Nile?
the West Nile person,
That's
71.
close then.
So,
No, no, but Middlesex is all the way down to Sherman,
so they do,
we're all the way to Marlboro, I think.
Oh, so it's close by.
they
Yeah.
do,
No,
they
it's a
do
big area.
alerts based off of counties, however, I get an actual like
No. Marlboro's-
robocall.
Oh.
I think it's
when
Middlesex.
they have,
If it isn't,
like,
It's Worcester.
Positive samples,
Norfolk County
in,
goes,
like-
we have Essex.
like,
One other
nearby.
Place way up there.
like I'll literally get a robocall that's like,
Norfolk goes all the way.
it was like the local
Middlesex goes
community
all the way
have
up
been,
to
have had like
Yeah.
Triple E.
Yeah.
Franklin, Norfolk,
Right.
like, and they list them all,
Right.
and so usually I kind of go off of those. Cause they reach out to, I think it's like a Mass DPH, like automatic, like robocall number type thing.
Yeah, also the other
So-
thing too is, you should definitely be on the offices, Han, Health Alert Network, you'll get all that stuff,
I think so.
yeah, yeah. So if you're not on it, Elena, you can ask Laura to get on the Han. Oh, you know, then you can choose, there's low risk, a low risk notices.
Health alert network.
Moderate, yeah, health alert, and then severe. I go for moderate and severe, because the low will be, you'll constantly fill your email.
Yeah.
Laura, can you hear us okay? So
I
let's
know,
make
if
sure that the
somebody-
sound's working all good.
Did something with food, that didn't result in
Yes, I
any,
can. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
then you'd get an
Great.
alert on a low. But moderate would be like somebody got them contracted, you know, hazardous food condition for mosquitoes or. You know, sometimes somebody with a certain water disease, you know. What's that one that used to be? Go ahead. I can't in the lungs, you have to quarantine yourself. Tuberculosis, we've had them in Bellingham.
Oh, God.
Okay. Okay, being 7 o'clock, I'd like to open the meeting for the Bellingham Board of Health, September 2nd, 2025. Myself, Ben Forty Chair, Rick Gilberti, Vice Chair. Elena Almeida, member, Deborah Bush, member, and Richard Montanelli is absent tonight. Okay, so first order of business is the minutes to approve.
Make the
August
motion that
5th.
we accept the minutes from August 5th as typed.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried, okay. Next order of business is tobacco permit listing. What do you have,
Okay,
Rick?
I want to start out by saying that the paperwork has been put into the town, permitized system and in the, post state system. That's the point of sale tobacco system. After I've done all of the entering, I noticed that we didn't have 27 licenses. We actually had 28 active. One, I wanna make a motion tonight that we bring them in at the next meeting for a hearing to suspend their license. And that's the Borderline, because they still haven't opened.
Okay.
And that's 15 Moody Street. So I'm gonna make a motion that we call them in at the September 16th meeting for a public hearing to revoke their license.
The second on it.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried.
Right now, we have 28 current and active permits. I would like to make sure that the Borderline one will be down to 27. I need to make a motion that we accept that we have 28.
Move the motion that was put on the-
Um,
This is for an upcoming thing.
yeah,
Sorry.
do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried.
And the reason that I did that is because I need to go to the town clerk's office and make sure that it's correct in the tobacco ordinances, regulation.
Okay,
So it's 28. If we take one away next meeting, then
Right.
I'll go into the town clerk and do the same thing.
could it have been that we assumed that one was going already?
No,
No, it
no,
wasn't.
it was,
So we had 28 and not 20.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
just completely off.
Yeah, because I think we said if we went with that other one out, we'd be 26. No, we'd
Correct.
be 27.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Fine.
at this point, we're at 28. I'm gonna make sure the town clerk has that, for the regs.
Okay, next item is health agent updates. Item one, I guess, is yours.
All right, so, I guess we can start with the first thing.
Fine.
Mr. Michael Trout is here from Florence Street Foods.
Okay.
As you can see, he provided us with these wonderful little binders here. These binders have all of his different certifications. Obviously, he already has a residential kitchen permit that I've
Okay.
issued. He's got his serve safe, he's got his allergen awareness, he's got, you know, food processing, distribution license. His goal is eventually he wants to go larger scale with it, and he's been, what's been happening is we've been running into issues where as he goes into other communities, they're kind of giving him a little bit of a hard time with saying, oh, you need a variance for this, oh, you need a technicality for
Right.
that. And so really why I brought Mr. Trout in today was because, you've been operational for, I want to say, at least a little over a year.
16 months.
Yeah, yeah, so 16 months already. I have not had one complaint. In fact, I've actually had people call saying positive things, which is weird. But that's a good thing, you know, it's good weird. And Mike really just, in my opinion, just really goes above and beyond from the standpoint of just making sure that his food is prepared the correct way, the safe way, to the point where if you don't mind me adding, his process is actually currently under a patent. That's how revolutionary his
That's in
kind
the
of,
binder also.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
Is this a catering business?
No, it's just, it's started by mistake. 2 Christmases ago, I made pickles and my daughter made salsa.
Right.
And she made up this name, Florence Street Foods. Then I had overage. So what do you do with extra food? You don't throw it away.
No.
You call your friends, colleagues, your neighbors.
Yeah.
People wouldn't leave me alone. And then when my neighbor says, I would buy these from you,
Right.
then the light dawned on Marblehead and I said, let me go to Amazon and see what kind of delicacies. So it started from there. And then by mistake and by need, I have a utility machine patent
Okay.
to make my machinery go from 1 hour, 4 minutes, processing a bushel to 14 minutes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I have a patent for that no other food processor company out there has.
Okay.
That's beside the point, though. The other piece is, another patent, because my FDA scheduled process tester says, I've never, 35 years of testing, nobody's done a pre-soak like you. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, we had to tie 2 research documents and you made us work. She was jokingly saying that, but usually they plug things in and the database spits out results. They had to
You,
search and research stuff.
Do you sell out of the house?
No, not direct. It's farmers markets under, I included my Byberk insurance, because all of these people want their insurance binder. There's 1 million over 2 million annual. So I could be sued essentially $1 million for liability twice a
No,
year.
but I just wanna make sure you're not selling.
No,
to the,
I can't
people
because I don't have residential, commercial combined zoning. And I inquired on, can I do a commercial kitchen?
Right.
And then they said, well, you gotta rezone, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I mean,
What
granted,
they do is, instead of the variance, they don't like the variance, they give you a special permit. So if you stop the business or you move, that goes back to the original zoning.
yeah,
That's what they normally do.
yeah, the real key is pickles have this label blindly.
Right.
They assume you ferment. Fermentation is very sensitive to time temperature control.
Correct.
And when that happens,
What are you asking from us though, at this point?
so I wanna drop the TCS tag because I'm doing combined vinegar soak
Okay.
with such an extreme extraction of water activity, which is non-existent. I have extracted a sample a year old and it looked opaque because sunshine. And I'm like, that's interesting. Let me test the pH. And I have the DPH required because I have my wholesale distribution license at the state DPH level already.
Okay.
I have a commercial kitchen in Holliston, so if I have to, I could just shut down everything and use a commercial kitchen. But I don't feel I need to because of the science, right? So I tested this year-old in a deli container, not hermetically sealed, never like hot canned, obviously, because it's in a plastic. I don't want a hot filled plastic deli container from the plastics.
Right.
So a year later, the pH is 3.2. It's the same pH off of my boiling brine off of the stove. A year in a deli container. And I'm just shaking my head. So originally I did a half empty 5 gal in my basement and I wanted to push it. And it had all the oxygen. It had the time, had the temperature, had the food. And I assumed it had the water activity. And then I opened it up 90 days later and it looked the same way I left it. And I peach stripped it back then because that was before the DPH wholesale. I mean, the whole purpose was me to wholesale and then just call a co-packer and say, make this.
Right.
That's what the end game will be. But so it matched the colors of the boiling brine off the stove 90 days later in a half empty 5 gal food grade bucket. I was expecting to see alpaca wool.
Yeah.
And I didn't. So when I did that, I took the sample and I brought it to Pro Verde Labs. That's in the binder also.
See that.
Legal test, 90 days, room temperature, 3.2 pH. I'm like, what did I do? And I asked the founder and the chief scientist at that lab, and I told him my sequence because he's under NDA, and so is the FDA test and process.
Right.
And he said, of course, it's your pre-soak. You're locking the water activity out to a point where it's so thirsty, the double vinegars come in and they lock it deeper. Therefore, the water activity can never interact. to complete the
And if the
circuit.
water did interact, you'd end up having a change in pH plus.
Yeah, the pH would skyrocket and it would be
Plugging
wrong.
as it grows.
So I did a little reverse test, not in a scientifically controlled experiment yet. I will do that just to follow through when I have that extra $5,000 to hire a lab to do it. But there was another vendor at one of these farmers, because farmers market's a scary place. I'm sure you know. So there was a vendor that was pickling things. They refused to get a health permit in the town, and I don't know why the farmer's market manager allowed them to be
Yeah,
there
it's kind
still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they never got a permit. Okay. I'm like, that would never fly because you're a food vendor. and-
Right,
To answer your
I still
question,
wanna know what we're doing.
so to answer your question, basically, currently the way the regulation is written is that the term, this overarching term of pickling
Right.
is labeled as what's called a TCS food, which means, time.
Time temperature
Time temperature.
sensitive product.
Sensitive. So you're not, the way the current regulations are written is that you're not allowed to prepare those types of foods in a residential kitchen. However, he's basically requesting a stepping stone variance so that for the time being, he can continue his operation with no qualms.
Right.
Because of all of this testing that he's done, I've now inspected his operation twice.
Right.
I've had no issues and everything, so really why we're here is to grant a variance to allow Mike to continue preparing these. Nothing in his process is actually changing,
Right.
we're just it's basically, we're granting a variance to protect him on like the paperwork side.
Okay.
That's really why Mike's here.
Is there a reason that it's not allowed to do in a residential right now?
There are very different methods to pickle pickles, and that's where the source of this issue is coming from. If I did dill has a method, and you have to do it, otherwise you don't end up with a dill pickle.
Right.
So dill says, create trouble and leave it room temperature and create the trouble, leave the water, leave all the pieces that want to ferment, and it ferments. And then 6 to 7 days later, you have to constantly test it. Is it too salty now? Is it too sugary now? I've done it in a test with R&D at my house to figure out, is this the recipe I maybe will go to in the future? I don't have time for any of that anymore. But I watched it happen. In 2 days, it was super sugar. And then the next 5 days, it was super salty. And then all of a sudden, I was ready to dump it and give up. And I'm like, nah, I must have did it wrong. That one day, I was ready to dump. I cracked it. I'm like, my God, it's a dill pickle. But that day, you have to get it refrigerated to cease the fermentation.
Right.
That is a TCS product.
Okay.
I don't
Like
do
you said,
that.
You end up having bad things.
Yeah, you have to cease the fermentation.
Right.
I don't ferment though.
Right.
I am getting super salt saturated things, and then I use cold water rinse. The cold water doesn't really go back into the vegetables. The salt extracts all the water out, but because the temperature is cold tap and groundwater tap temperature, it's very low, almost refrigeration. But because of that, it doesn't really take the water back in just because I'm rinsing the salt away.
Right.
And then the next thing that happens is 220-degree double vinegar with spices. Whoa. And it encapsulates everything so deep and locks it in. A year later, I haven't found anything that has broken through the 3.2. And I just don't, I understand it now. Hindsight being 2020, the Pro Verde lab guy, the chief scientist and founder of the lab, he's like, of course. And I'm like, what do you mean, of course? And he explained, he's like, it's that pre-soak you're doing. The salt is extremely thirsty for water wherever it can get it. So there's an ebb, and then over time, it flows back in. I don't want to super salt the product. So there's a timeline, and that's part of the patent that is filing this week, actually. There's a time, depending on the density, and it's getting a little scientific here, but depending on the density of the vegetable or whatever product, it could be meat. There's a time where water's getting extracted because the salt is so thirsty for it. Then the salt wants to even out everything. before that flow comes from the ebb, like a tide, you cold water rinse and get rid of the salt, because you don't want the salt to ruin your product. But the water's not soaking in because the temperature is so low, the water activity is so restricted. And then the instant you're rinsed, boiling 210-degree vinegars are hitting that, essentially sealing it in, like, a nuclear power plant with 6-foot thick lead walls, something like that. And
I make a motion that we, grant a variance. TCS variance, is that what it is? Tony?
Yep, for Florence Street Foods.
For Foreign Street Foods.
Do you have another question, Elaine?
Sorry, I just still don't understand why it's not allowed in a residential, but it's allowed in commercial.
So the reason why is because basically, as Mike was saying, like the traditional way of pickling things is a lot more, for lack of a better term, dangerous, because it involves literally fermenting, aka rotting the food to a certain degree, and then like you flip it over perfectly and maintain the chemicals. His process, the way he does it, does not rot the vegetables, does not include fermentation, does not include, and that's the quote unquote bad side of pickling.
Right.
And so so by doing a safer process, he's trying to say he's not technically doing that, which,
so it
does
is,
that make sense?
And so if it's like in a commercial kitchen, it's considered.
there are
like
way more
contained
measurements.
Or safe.
Far more
Yes.
measurements required. So when you're in a commercial kitchen,
There's a motion.
they have a.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. You have it, sir.
Granted.
Okay, thanks. But if you have questions, I'm intrigued that you're interested, because I need people to know. I wish everybody knew.
We can
And
talk.
the commercial kitchen is so monitored. They're so monitored, the temperature alarms are everywhere. You don't have that in your residential kitchen.
Correct.
You don't have an alarm notifying and logging what is happening.
Right.
Because they're able to do wholesale distribution, even if they're not, a commercial kitchen still has to have those measurements and controls in place. A residential kitchen probably should, really, because you're still making a food product. I don't understand the difference. And I'm talking to vendors in these markets, and I'm like, you know what I'm finding and learning? You can murder people in a farmer's market, but you can't in a wholesale situation. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's almost that dumb,
Yeah.
but not as dumb. You can't dumb it down at that level, but.
Right. I mean, I guess some farmers market allow
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
in each town.
If I did a wholesale
That-
ice
that
cream, I would only have to be here.
Yeah,
How is that possible?
yeah.
Right,
Unless pasteurization is involved, then I have to involve the state.
correct.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Ice cream,
Yep,
isn't that time temperature sensitive?
yeah.
But my pickles are scrutinized by random regions, and this is just ad lib, but I'd be interested in having a after meeting without the board time, right? For an educational thing, because I think it's important to spread the knowledge.
Sure.
And I think the knowledge really needs to change the state laws, and we need the representatives in here, whatever. You guys can keep these. I think I have a few copies of these, go figure.
Okay.
But I appreciate your time.
Yeah, okay.
And I mean, it's just the facts, right? And the facts,
Yeah.
that's all that counts.
Thank you.
If you need some acidified food support, I'll consult for free because I live in this town.
Okay.
And I love, and my
Thank you.
mother manages a lot of the voting, every
Right.
vote. She's 85 doing 16 hours in that high school.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
say,
I
Ma,
say-
fire yourself.
When I first heard about this, I'll just deviate slightly. When we approve, what's it called, the raw fish? Whatever,
Oh, sushi.
sushi, they have to have a certification and a certain certificate process to do that. So they don't have any problems with their food,
I'm afraid to eat out anymore.
Yeah.
I know too much.
I
It's,
Well, when you're on the
sounds
board,
scary,
do
but
that.
it's almost. concerning.
I'll be in touch. I'll write something up to make like the variance
I know,
official,
like-
just so that you have.
Yeah, and I don't know if this should be passed by whoever's on the law side of this. This should probably be a sample to say, listen,
I'm pretty healthy, so
the
it should.
state needs to take a look at this.
Yeah,
And not only that, I'm finding, why do I need to re-permit to 35 towns for the same qualification, the same deployment of my product.
Oh, that's because. We can talk about
And then, oh, you have to pay for them to inspect you. Then they don't even inspect me, so what am I paying for?
Yeah.
So like the standard repeatable deployment permit should be a thing of the state that enables you in any town.
Right.
I am a standard repeatable deployment license, charge me 150 for that once.
Right.
Don't charge me 50 times 17 towns. It's hurting the entrepreneurial business and it's not necessary. But, you know, spot check.
Yeah.
The taxpayers are already paying you to spot check.
Yeah, that
I don't know.
honestly, that's more select board,
Like,
but I know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just thinking the
No, I know what you're
big
saying.
picture enabling people
Okay.
to say, yeah.
You gotta move on.
You gotta go.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Have a good one, Mike.
You have a contact.
Yeah.
Dylan knows where I live, so just send him over with a baseball bat.
Okay,
Cheers, thank you.
Okay. Mosquito spraying discussed with residents.
She's not here.
He's not here.
okay.
Was it actually the spraying?
Want to be sprayed?
They don't
So
want
basically,
everything?
she called into the office because she was upset that her neighbor was getting a third-party company spray.
Okay,
And she feels that she should be notified within 24 hours if her neighbor's spraying. The thing is, we don't know
right.
because the neighbor hired the third-party company themselves.
If it
The
was
reason why she's
you
on
can
the-
Get that
Yeah,
notification and you can put up a no
Which is,
spray.
which is a
Right.
completely different thing.
Correct.
So she was complaining that her neighbor was getting a treatment and she had her dogs outside and I was like, okay, well, go inside. She requested to go on the docket.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there any ordinances or regulations that somebody has to notify?
The only thing is in place is at the, like Vinny was saying, it's kind of at like the county level.
Correct.
So there is Norfolk County mosquito that goes around and they do like the street spraying.
No, I mean, but is there any ordinance in
No.
town
There's no local
that
regulations.
says they have to notify everybody in the area?
Nope.
And the stuff from my aspect, I know quite a bit about it. When they dump the, bacillus, whatever, it looks like cinnamon. Now,
Oh.
there is a product safety sheet. You'd have to eat 50 pounds of it to have a significant health effect.
And how about for animals?
Well, I mean, it's designed to stop the larval stage from going to a full adult.
No, I
bite.
mean like a dog getting into it or.
Not like, first of all, if it was the crystals, it would be 50 pounds. Now for pyrethrins, which is what they use when they broadcast spray it, you can put signs up, no spray. But that won't hurt you, your animals, wildlife at all, because typically it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's blasting only the wetlands. They don't turn it on and go all the way up the street.
No, but this is a
Right.
person
This is
that
a
owns a
person.
house. so-
Yes.
And she's doing it in her yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hired, I think where it gets difficult here and the disconnect is that once you hire a third party company to come out and do it on your property,
Yeah.
we no longer really have a say because you now hired someone to come perform a service on your property that you own. I can't tell you not. I can't tell you to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're already trained to use best management practices from the standpoint of like, they're trained to apply the spray and the pesticides in such a way that it limits travel to a
Now,
neighboring.
does somebody like
properties.
D&T do that?
Yeah, it's them. Yeah, I don't know if it was them in this case,
No.
but it would basically be like they hired D&T and this resident
mosquito marriage
was
is all.
frustrated because the person hired D&T, but we don't have a say over D&T.
From my knowledge of the chemicals used, unless you actually spray it in someone's eye or mouth, there could be an issue with pyrethrin. They use pyrethrins in restaurants to keep pests away
Mhm.
on the floors. They put it on the floors, they spray underneath the equipment. If that's a food restaurant and you're actually spraying the same stuff, there's a greater risk there, but nobody has ever been harmed by what we call pest control in a restaurant, using the same stuff we use to kill
Okay.
mosquitoes.
Title
The goal
5,
now is to not use the pyrethrins as much.
yeah,
It's to use the bacillus to get rid of the larval forms,
yep.
but they do it twice a year,
Okay,
both
Yep.
ways, okay. Okay, next thing is Title V regulations.
This one I could just keep it short and sweet,
Sure.
just from the standpoint of, I don't have anything prepared right now.
Fine.
Because I have to speak with legal about what kind of preparation I have to do.
Okay.
Because whenever you change Title V, it's not like a normal reg, you have to, there's a different set of requirements, like you need to provide, I think you need to post it like 14 days before, unlike 10 days for normal regs and stuff like that. But
Are we
I
gonna
just,
bring this up at the conference? To see what other towns and cities are doing?
I think we probably should. That was another thing that I wanted to,
Yeah,
that I
that's a
wanted
good
to
idea.
broach, but, the two items that I wanted to alter slash remedy really is, on one hand, it's always just been a general policy in town that we prefer to see 1,500 gallon tanks that are dual compartment.
Right.
All that means is that the total capacity is 1,500 gallons, and there's a separation
There's a
in there
pre-treatment pipe
that
there.
basically splits it into 1,000 gallon side and a 500 gallon side. Supposed to help, cause the stuff gathers at the bottom on the 1,000 gallon side, and it basically helps with pre-treatment a little bit better. So this has just been a policy.
We actually have
We
that ready
thought-
to change.
We thought it was a regulation until somebody actually questioned me on it, and when I looked into it, I found out it is not codified. It has just been a policy this entire time. So
No.
I was, it is,
Okay.
correct. So my suggestion was, I just have to talk to legal from from two standpoints. Number one, I wanna get the verbiage right to make sure that I don't
Right.
like possibly mess up like other tanks with, you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Like, I want you to still be able to use all of the certified tanks, they just have to be 1,500 gallon dual compartment.
Right.
So I have to get the right verbiage from them, and then the timing on the notice. I also think we should run it by other towns like Rick suggested,
Right.
just to see how people are thinking about it.
Right.
So that's the first one. The second one, still kind of Title V related, but it's actually more so related to fats, oil, and grease.
Right.
This one is a definite change that we need to make because it's actually just the regulation itself is written incorrectly.
Right.
So Title V says if you are a commercial kitchen, you 100% have to have at least at minimum 1,000 gallon grease trap.
Right.
Right? That's what Title V says at the state level. Now, we tried to enact a regulation that says here in Bellingham, we want you to have a 1,500 gallon outside tank and an indoor trap.
Right.
However, the way it was written says we need a 1,500 gallon tank or an indoor trap.
Right, oh, that was big time.
Because it's written like that, technically, it is more lenient than the state, so that is null and void.
Right.
And we need to rely on the state reg
Right.
that says 1,000 gallons. My suggestion is we basically change or to and we require 1,500 gallon grease trap.
Right.
And an indoor passive
Right.
or indoor automatic grease trap. Basically what that means is, the indoor traps I think are actually required under plumbing code, and the way it was explained to me was that the only way that you can veto, putting an indoor trap is if the outdoor trap is close enough to the building.
Right.
So if the outdoor trap is further than 25 feet away from the building,
Right.
and don't quote me on this, cause this is plumbing codes and I'm
Right,
paraphrasing here. That would trigger the need for the plumbing code indoor grease trap.
Right.
Is everybody grandfathered in for now?
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody would currently be grandfathered in.
Okay, then I make a motion that we change order and.
Second.
I thought we could do that without a
When you
public
make a
hearing.
change to a regulation, do you have to have a public hearing?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Because usually any change to a
Yeah.
current reg, you
We are just removing the article 4 from the reg.
but it's a
I think that-
change.
I mean,
It doesn't change it, yeah.
so Dylan, look at what we did with the chickens. We just removed numbers and ages.
I know.
And that
But that was
required,
because it was
Not a-
miles, right?
and that required a public hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
for
right.
that one,
Okay, let's just play it safe and do a public hearing.
Yeah.
It's easy enough can we do it for the next meeting? So that way there, we don't have to wait too long.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, and then the other thing I was gonna say is,
Have you run this by the town council? to get an official what we need to do?
I haven't yet, no.
Okay,
I've just been,
before we put it on next meeting, let's talk to the town council.
Right.
And see what they say we need to
Right,
do.
if we don't have
You don't
to do
need
the hearing, then we're all set. If we do, go ahead and move that the next meeting is a public hearing on the tank. And or,
So can we follow through with your vote anyway? Or do we wait?
Well, I
What was
mean,
your motion?
we could,
I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it in the end.
Right,
So we can vote on the motion and then if we need a public hearing, we have one.
right.
Yeah.
and if we don't, the motion has already been passed. to
It
make
passed and
change.
made, so,
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
that.
let's do it that way.
I like
We
that
won't
idea.
lose time and,
all
like I
right,
said,
so a second.
And
Okay.
he's gotta-
Oh, yeah, I just had a quick question. For the indoor one, could that be something like as simple as like if it's a surface grill, like the thing on the side, or is it a whole other?
no, so it's
5 gallons, or
usually,
Um,
so it is much smaller than the outdoor one, but it is kind of like a whole apparatus.
right,
It's almost like a plastic, like, think of like those like storage tubs, right, that are about like 10, like maybe 5, 10 gallons or so. It's like one of those, but a lot of times they put it into the floor and usually it's underneath the 3-bay sink.
right.
Because you have to have the 3-bay sink feeding into it as well as several other plumbing fixtures. So like sinks that you'd rinse stuff on because you're rinsing the grease down the drain.
Right.
The 3-bay sink where you do all of your dishes.
Right.
If you have a dishwasher, it probably has a floor drain that has to feed into it.
Right.
So all of these feed into this first.
Right.
And it's designed in such a way, I can get into it later, but it
Right.
catches the grease.
Right.
And then just the water goes through.
So it's not like I'm going to dump my grease in my
Right.
grease.
No,
Okay.
no, it's
No,
like,
no.
it basically, the grease, like everything already goes through, like your
Right.
taps and everything. It just, the grease in the water literally gets caught before it gets, cause they might have, say, a septic system.
Right.
And so the grease gets caught here instead of clogging up your septic system.
Right.
That makes
And then-
sense?
The other aspect to this is about a year ago, or a little bit more, we had the state coming in going crazy and MWRA saying that we clogged part of Medway's sewer treatment. And that's when we passed the fats, oil and grease. And DPW, Dylan, myself,
Yeah.
the state said after 2 6-month meetings, they said, hey, everything's resolved.
It's
They
been
didn't
getting.
know where it came from. It was either, well, they pretty much ruled out Franklin, and then they said it came from Bellingham. So we were after PJ's up there and a few other places thinking they were part of the problem. The Charles River Plaza, what's that called? The one that's up there, across from the
Yeah, I
market
know.
basket. They had an issue with grease, you know,
Oh,
grease
this
is,
is,
yeah,
that was a bad one.
and that one was actually discharged into storm drains, sewer drains, and everything else. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was
Anyway.
that was a big one, but.
So anyway, so.
But yeah, so there was the
There's a
motion made.
on the
Okay.
floor,
The second
seconded.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so.
My homework, I'm gonna go to council, I'm gonna confirm everything with them tomorrow, if not this week. And take from there.
Okay, great.
Cool. 70H, this one, I don't know if we wanna get into it right now. The reason why is because coincidentally, Mr. Martinelli was the one who kind of told me about this, so I don't know if we wanna save it for
Well,
him.
I did
We
actually.
can still talk about it
This
briefly.
is one I also brought up.
No, you did, but I just
That's fine.
wanted to,
Okay,
it out there.
let's wait for Richard to be at the meeting and we'll
okay, then
hopefully
we
have
can.
him on the 16th.
Yeah, I think we can save that one for now, cause
Okay,
that's
great.
gonna be that's gonna be a big conversation, I think.
Okay.
I don't think we need a motion to table, I think we could just pass over it.
Yeah, as long as you revolve back to your next health agent updates
Yep,
for the 16th.
so the next thing, 29
29 Douglas.
Douglas Drive, so this one, just kind of wanted to let you guys know. This is the property that Tim and I. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So Tim and I are working on this one. We got called out there, because there's several Board of Health issues as well as some building and zoning issues as well. So this is just kind of a joint situation Tim and I are working on. Just, wanted to keep you guys in the loop on it. We sent it by constable, to make sure that it got to this person. There was an issue with some refuse in the front. There was an issue with a person living in a trailer there, which is against zoning, that's not us, but.
Not the one we live in.
Nope, different one.
Different one.
So there is, so I just figured I'd let you guys know this is something I'm working on. Tim and I are gonna actually go back there this week for a reinspection.
Okay.
Cause their 30 days is coming up on this weekend. So we're gonna be heading back over there. I already have that scheduled with Tim. And if you guys would like, obviously, I'd be happy to provide an update after that, after
Sure.
that next visit. So I can let you know on that one. That's pretty much that.
Okay.
And then the last one is pretty much just to let you guys know that we had a representative from Mr. Michael Marchand's office come into the office and pay his $750 fine so that he could pull septic permits. So Mr. Marchand pulled a rubbish hauler, a septic hauler, and paid his $750 fine.
And is that good until the 1st of January?
Yes,
And then it starts again?
yes.
Okay.
Yep, so I did make sure that the woman who pulled the permits, I made sure that she knew that. I told her, I was like, just so you know. You're gonna have, these are annual permits, so you'll have to renew in January, so they're aware of that, so.
Yeah, I think she had called the office one day and I think
She, different girl.
different girl.
So, cause I spoke to her, that a different girl that I guess was working there.
Right,
Called earlier in the year, had asked about pulling permits.
correct.
I told her what she needed to do.
Okay,
It went away for a while.
Right.
This is a new woman,
fine, okay, good.
and so she's cleaning up. And came over and said, hey, I gotta pay this, this and this.
Perfect.
I told her what she owed, she paid it, call it a day.
Nice, perfect.
So
Yeah, it's the first for woman, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. The first.
she's no
person
longer with the
was
company.
clueless.
Yep,
What
she's,
was going on.
she's no longer with the
Fine,
company.
okay,
so.
good. Okay, old business.
Earth Day, I think this one, I think we should either, what are our thoughts on either, I think we should either reschedule or cancel. The reason why is because September 20th specifically, there is another town event going on the common already. There, so the two Baptist churches in
Right,
town
right.
come together and they do like I think it's like kind of like a fall fair event.
Okay.
But there's gonna be like a ton of vendors. I've already had food establishments reaching out to me pulling permits, so like. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a really bad day for it, cause most of the draw is gonna be there.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if we wanted to. Talk about continuing to do something for the fall, or if we would want to just reallocate resources and plan better for the spring. What do we think?
I've looked around, it's actually not too bad, the trash on town roads is not bad. With the exception of Larry's. we'll
Yeah,
get that.
surprisingly, yeah, no, I haven't gotten, I used to get calls for complaints on
Yeah.
specific roads. I haven't gotten some in a
Yeah.
while, so that's been good.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I'm disappointed and I'll take the blame for it. I think if I had initially in back in April when I set it up, I learned we need to have a rain date.
Right, right. yeah.
Because I think that was really the big thing
Yeah.
that messed us up,
Right.
was because I didn't have a rain date and then we had to reschedule and then it rained and then we had to and like.
Right, right.
So I think honestly, I think if we go into it in the spring, in my opinion, with a rain date, better prepared, we don't have to do as much run around, we already have the t-shirts.
Correct, yeah.
I think we might be, I don't know.
And the t-shirts are generic, so we can use them next year.
I purposely didn't get them with any years on them, so we could,
Good, good.
we can continue to use them if we have extras.
So, I don't know,
The bags say 2025.
they do.
They do?
Think so. I think something says 2025, but I'm pretty sure it's the bag.
It might be the
Except for
bag.
shirts, okay.
So
Kids still use them.
if we're not gonna do it, I'd like to give the bags to the senior center or somewhere that somebody's gonna get use out of them.
Right.
That says 2025, and then next year we just do 2026.
Right, okay.
Because I don't think we should do a cleanup that says 2025 in 2026.
Right.
No, I totally agree with you. I honestly, I forgot about that. That's a good catch.
I would like
Yeah.
to give them to the senior center
Right.
or to other organizations
Right, right.
that might use them.
Maybe the housing authority could use them for
Yeah,
like.
Yeah.
yeah,
helping
I
people
mean,
with
just,
grocery bags or something. I don't know.
there's places, give them
Yeah.
out to everybody in town hall. whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
You could do that too.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you. Honestly, I forgot that those had the year on it, so that was a good call.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, So,
Okay.
I make a motion that we postpone the spring, the cleanup till the spring,
right,
sometime in April. Date to be determined.
Right.
I also make a motion that we give the bags to the senior center, town hall employees and other charitable organizations. So they don't go to waste.
okay.
Second,
All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. How many bags do we have, by the way?
I think it's 100.
I think it was 100.
Yeah, I think it's 100.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that'll go around to more than one place, that's for sure.
Exactly. No, it'll be good.
Okay,
I think other than that, yeah, it's pretty much
so,
flying through here, annual conference, it's
yeah,
right here.
Yep.
This is the official agenda, so this is what we're gonna be learning about. I think one thing that would be kind of smart to do, is. And I mean, we can also talk about it next week, but we should probably split these courses.
okay,
Because
yeah,
I
That's the way they're set up.
Debbie and I already.
Yeah.
decided.
But I'm saying
Which
like,
ones do you wanna go to?
yeah, I'm saying
Okay.
like two of us should go to each one, so that
Okay.
way the department gets everything in the
There
conference.
you go.
Okay,
I don't want all four of us to be in like,
In one,
in one conference, and then we miss up everything from the other one.
okay.
okay,
So like, maybe we can just kind of come together and talk about it or
Okay.
something.
right,
We could even do it literally like next week, be like, check off, or even if we do it the same day, I don't
right,
care.
right, right.
But I just think that would probably be the smart
We
thing to
could do it
do.
during orient, when we.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
registration, We get a table, sit down there. and
Yeah,
say,
just be like, I wanna do
Yes, I wanna-
hazardous algae blooms today and risk-based inspections, you
Right.
guys do the other ones, or
Right.
something, I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
That's fine, okay, fine. I
So,
already picked the ones I want. so.
Well, too bad.
No, I'm saying,
no, we'll figure it out. So that's that.
That's right, there's
Um,
only four of us, so we gotta go 2 and 2. Okay, fine.
employee calendar,
Well, real quick,
make a motion that we accept the employee calendar for September 2025.
okay,
Second.
all those in favor say aye. Aye.
I don't know how
Opposed?
big of a deal it is, there's.
What?
2 nines.
Is what? I mean,
oh,
No,
Does that-
it's a special month.
it's a special month, we got 2 nights of the month, Laura.
Ooh,
oh, right,
It's alright, well, minus the double ninth, we accept it.
Okay,
got it, okay, I see that.
that is so
that was a
odd.
test and you passed.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah, but, okay, so it's technically,
So-
the next meeting is 16th to 17th? No,
no, you wanna know what it is?
what is
She accidentally when she added the 9, everything before that got pushed back a day, because the first
Got it.
should be Monday,
correct?
not Sunday.
Oh,
Right.
that must be what it is.
That's what it is, okay.
So I think she accidentally started, yeah,
For our purposes,
Right.
so from the 9th on Tuesday onwards is accurate.
okay. Okay, so town warrant, it says it closes on the,
The 12th,
well, is that for, November?
yes,
Okay,
we don't have anything.
we don't have any, okay, I'm saying.
I'm working on other stuff, but it's
For
nothing.
May,
for
though,
health.
we do have we're gonna have a couple of things, okay? Cause that's when budgets are done, right?
Yes,
Okay, go for you, and then this whole board,
we'll get there.
okay, okay. So, anyway, so, one other quick thing, Dylan didn't get a chance to go out there. I may drive up there tonight with them. As of Sunday, which was what, the 31st? From now on, if you go to recycle center with mattresses or box springs, you pay. You also, TVs, you pay, you used to get one free. And tires used to be free 4 a year, now you pay $5 each, which is high, but that's okay. I may shift them all to Charles, because he's a lot cheaper, whatever, tell your friends. But in any event, I went by, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. By Saturday, no, Sunday, excuse me, it was Sunday.
You wanna explain where you went?
Oh, yeah, I went by Larry's, favorite place that used to have Planet Aid bins, now he's got, what's it
Up
called?
at the,
The liquor store.
yeah, the liquor store on the.
And there were 4 mattresses, a TV set. The trash was so far out, it looked like he had 3 more bins there. So I told Dylan, go out there and look at it this morning. At 9:30, that means it's 24 hours and 1/2 hour. And he gets a $300 fine because But I'm saying, I wanted Dylan to take a picture, send it to Dennis Frame and the Board of Selectmen and a few other people made this decision. Instead of taking it to town meeting and saying, look, whatever,
You don't.
Well, Dennis
know-
isn't here anymore, so
Dennis isn't here.
But you
just,
just
no.
know who put those mattresses there.
No, I don't.
There are a lot of
I
people
know.
that come
Could have
over
been.
the line from another state and drop their things off.
Or
at the
other
village
towns.
Or other towns and everything like that.
Unfortunately,
So-
the truth of the
It
matter,
Have nothing
No,
to
but
do
it's
with the.
super ironic. It occurs the day of,
yeah,
so
Well,
next
that's
Saturday. or
probably
something.
why, right?
Well, that's my guess.
Maybe,
But
maybe not.
Debbie's trying to play the, how do we call it?
Devil's advocate.
Yeah, devil's advocate,
fact
somebody
is-
else from another town,
But you can't.
it's somebody from Rhode
assume
Island. and I'm
That it
going
was
like,
because
Yeah.
of the change
No,
with
well,
the recycling center. It
When I-
could have come from
Okay,
anybody.
but just to put it like in perspective, when I was cameraing that site and catching people, and the police department wouldn't issue a warrant, but anyway. 80% of them were from our town. I'm going like, how can you do that?
That's what I was gonna ask, there's no camera?
There is, but it doesn't,
Nothing you can do.
doesn't catch that there. So if this happens more than one weekend, I'm putting my camera up there. I'm gonna get the registrations, go to the police department, and I'm gonna say to them, just give me the address, we'll send out a ticket, a fine, because that's commercial. So it's not $100. If you litter, I don't know, well, no, if you litter on a commercial entity, it's a $300 fine. If you litter on the public road, it's only $100.
That to me is, because you'd have to.
So if you wanna throw your mattress out and save money if you get caught, do it on a public road, which they
the
do.
problem-
That'll be in the woods, in the wetlands, trust me.
The problem.
Right.
You have an establishment. that is-
Excuse me, just to let you know at Larry's, when I talked to Greg Nesta, he said
Yeah.
it has already been cleaned up and that was within the hour.
Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you very much, okay.
You have an establishment that does receive funds for
Correct.
having those bins there. So technically, the owner of the establishment is responsible to make sure that the area is maintained.
which he knows and I've
And
spoken
he
to.
knows.
And by the way,
And you've spoken to
And
him.
the
this way,
fact is,
other
by
than this
putting
weekend,
cameras
he was
there,
literally perfect. When Planet Aid wasn't doing,
Right, but the thing is,
the owner
Vinny,
responsible
what's,
to maintain cleanliness.
whenever I get a call for a
So
trash
the owner
complaint,
would
when
have
is
to
it?
be notified, and he knows.
After a long weekend. It
right,
was Memorial Day weekend.
right,
That's what happens. People do stupid stuff on the long
Also-
weekend.
I know.
It's already taken care of.
Okay, got it. Okay, thanks, Laura. Okay, so that's done.
Bill time.
Bill time.
I make a motion that we accept the WB Mason bill in the amount of 102.27.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried.
I make a motion that we accept the WB Mason bill for 27.66.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried.
I make a motion that we accept the WB Mason bill for $228.58.
58 or 85? 58,
58.
58.
okay.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried.
Betterment doesn't even require a motion, you just gotta sign it.
Fine, perfect.
Just, so you know.
Okay.
Those three have to be signed. Agreement to sign Deborah Lane 11, 13, and 15.
Yeah, that one just needs to be signed, that one's already approved.
Is that,
That's just the paperwork formality
is
for
that
the,
just me or is this the whole board on that?
the whole board
The
needs
whole
to sign
board,
that.
okay, perfect.
That's just the further, follow-up paperwork technicality on the betterment loan, at the triplicate house that we issued.
Okay,
Um,
is that actually money coming now, you think? Or
in order to get the money to come to start the job, we need that.
this signed? Got it.
Yeah.
Fine.
Next.
Laura and I have been working closely with the finance department
Okay.
downstairs to try and get
Right.
everything lined up.
That's, how do we say it, John's been asking me about that left and right, and going, okay,
Well, everyone's been asking me too.
okay, fine.
The homeowners come in.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
Well, they wanna get it done, they keep calling Johnny,
well, of
how
course.
come you're not starting? He says, well, I gotta have the loan approved,
No, it makes sense.
right, and I agree with him,
Next meeting.
Adjourn. Oh,
Next
make a
meeting.
motion. Oh. Sorry.
Next meeting is September 16th.
Okay. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried.
Thank you, Laura.
I
Good
think not.
night. See you
Yeah, the
Good
tomorrow.
night. See you tomorrow.